Good morning, everybody. Mr. Sriram, Mr. Sardana, Mr. Papneja, Mr. Praveen Prashant, distinguished industrialists from different petrochemical industries, researchers from research institutions related to petrochemicals, other invitees. I come from a different field. I compliment all the three speakers who made a real presentation of the concerns of the industries and the prospects of the petrochemical industry. I am an academic basically, and I represent a university, a research-intensive university, which is also the sponsors are running industries. They have biorefineries, they have chemical companies, and they have research institutes, research and consultancy institutes. And along with that, we have around 30,000 students and 3,000 teachers in the university system. So I will be concentrating on, not on raw materials or products or anything of the sort. I will be concentrating on research and development, which is necessary for the petrochemical industry, and also the human resource development, which is very necessary and extremely necessary for a country like India. Whatever gaps we have identified in the earlier presentations, they have identified some gaps in technology, in R&D, and all that. These gaps can be filled only by proper investment in research and development and also in human resource development, specifically for the chemical industry. I don't want to probably repeat the importance of the downstream hydrocarbons and its value in all types of chemical industries, pharma industry, the textile industry, agrochemicals, packaging, infrastructure, healthcare, furniture, automobiles. All these industries are definitely dependent on information technology also. Power, electronics, they all depend on petrochemical industry in a major way. I don't want to focus on that. So what probably is needed is we have to focus on eco-friendly processes and technologies. We have to understand the relevance and the context of the chemical industry to other sectors also, and then try to develop or focus on eco-friendly processes and technologies. Earlier speakers spoke about the R&D investment. Nirmala Sitharaman in this budget announced 50,000 crores for private industries, R&D in private industries. 50,000 crores have been earmarked. This is for the first time in a budget, in a union budget. 50,000, so much money has been allotted for private R&D industries. Private R&D in private industries. That's a major step. Of course, we know in the policy formulation last year, we have semiconductor mission. Several 10,000 crores of rupees have been earmarked for semiconductor mission. But nothing big has happened. Nobody has availed in any significant way that things. The reason is, again, the right kind of human resources development and also institutions which, probably lack of institutions which are looking at this thing. And in this connection, of course, earlier it was mentioned about PPP, public-private participation. And this is very important in R&D in chemical industry. I am a chemist, basically. I am a polymer scientist. But I have been leading academic institutions in the country and abroad. So it is very important that we should look at the human resource development in a holistic perspective. For example, in US, you know what is the percentage of, if you just look at the petrochemical sales and the percentage of R&D investment, it is only 0.3%. 0.3% in India. That is the R&D investment in India. just 0.3%. This has to be, of course, this has to be enhanced. And not only money allocation, but we need systems and procedures to absorb such funds also. And therein comes the importance of innovation of newer applications and products which focus on sustainable development. And this consideration necessitates research and development and HR planning and development in a significant way, in a very contextualized way, looking at the industry's requirements. If you look at the chemical industry in US and and Germany, you can see that the Chemical Engineering News, the American Chemical Society, there are 3 or 4 major academic institutions which are looking at, which are connecting between industries and academic institutions. The policy, for example, the chemistry technology vision for 2030 is devised by or prepared by a team of people who are in these 3-4 journals in American Chemical Society. And there are, of course, number of institutions are there. Similarly, German chemical industry, Deutsche Chemical Industry. So they have also, the Frankfurter Messe and all that. So you see some sort of a triple helix connection there. Triple helix means, of course, triple helix is the G.N. Ramachandran's DNA structure of collagen. Triple helix is one helix government, one of the strand government, one of the strand industry, one of the strand academia. This collaboration need to be strengthened. This has been happening all over the developed countries. This has been happening, and it is very important that we should also focus on that. So, the furtherance of such policies envisages the institutionalization of research and innovation in the petrochemical sector. The level of R&D investments in Indian petrochemical sector is low at around 0.3%, I mentioned it already, of total sales. The areas of strengthening in petrochemical industry include improvements in manufacturing processes for reduction in the cost of production, application development to diversify demand, and new product development. India has a highly trained manpower base in other sectors. However, as per world industry estimates, inadequate R&D infrastructure is a constraint for attracting investment in innovation. That is, inadequate R&D infrastructure and HRD, Human Resource Development Programs. Ultimately, if it is not rectified, of course things are happening, it is slowly getting rectified. If it is not getting rectified, India stands out to lose out in the polymer and plastic market if low-cost, high-return programs are not implemented. In this context, the current announcement in the budget, I mentioned it, 50,000 crores for the private R&D sector. This is a very, of course, we have started thinking about it. We have started institutions, academic institutions have started planning to interact with the government to how to absorb this money. All these things we are, and in government of India, of course, we as part of Viksit Bharat or the national education policy. In our university system, now there are professors, professors from industry, professor of practice. The established industry practitioners, they can come and teach and guide research and give leadership to academic institutions. Similarly, in the postgraduate and undergraduate programs, 40% of the credits for industrially relevant subjects, 40% of the credits can be earned from practicing in the industry. They can go to the industry and 40% of the credits can be earned. Professor of practice on the one side, coming to the universities, and then students going to the industry and then learning there and getting the skills there, 40% of the total credits getting out of it. That is also a very positive thing. Similarly, faculties in academic institutions, they can spend up to 2 months, in industry, if, of course, on mutual consensus and mutual interest. These are all facilitative measures which are part of the national education policy and also part of the Viksit Bharat. And it's very important. Of course, I work in Mumbai for the last 6 years. In a city like, in a place like Bombay, which is the industrial and business capital of India, large number of academic institutions are there. There, of course, there are success stories like ICT, Institute of Chemical Technology. There are success stories. It was a university department of chemistry only, but it has become a big institution, Institute of Chemical Technology. Probably more such institutions, more such activities should happen between industry, academia, and R&D institutions. This is very important. So the future of R&D vision of the petrochemical industry needs to provide continuous innovation in terms of raw materials usage, energy efficiency, process operation improvement, technology forecasting and adoption of emerging technologies, recycling technologies. Mr. Sardana mentioned, of course, we all use in our campuses, for example, we say that this particular jacket you have, that is from five bottles. We announce that also. Probably we write, I was a bottle, behind it is written, I was a bottle before. So we do it. We do such things. But this shouldn't be isolated thing. This has to be policy. Circular economy. For example, even for our conventional degree programs, we teach circular economy and design thinking. So recycling technologies and development of recycled products, we should have policy. Of course, we are doing here and there. We are doing it, but we have to make it a culture. So new process technologies for high-performance polymers, green processes, thrust on new development platforms. Mr. Sriram mentioned about the field of specialty chemicals and the polymers. Bio-nanosciences are enablers for advanced polymeric materials, which are the need of the hour. At the same time, R&D thrust in development of molds, dyes, and tools must be advanced. It is not only in the products, but also in our usual machines, all the components of the machines we have to innovate. R&D, public-private participation has already been mentioned. Then public apprehension about adverse impact of plastics on environment and health should be properly and delicately addressed. For example, when evangelists of nature and all that, they just say all these things. But how much we are losing from nature for supporting nature, that also we have to take into consideration. So there has to be a correct mix. It should not be either way. There has to be a correct mix of the consideration of sustainability. So research and innovations in polymers and specialty materials and products, of course, green polymeric materials, packaging techniques and creative designs. You see everywhere, creative designs. In all these things we have to be involved. Polymer processing machinery, robotics and automation, waste management, petrochemicals for newer applications. Of course, we concentrate and probably enhance our capabilities on existing applications, but we have to think about newer applications also. Research and training in the field of polymer science and technology. Of course, there is a session separately. The third session is separately on research and development and such aspects. I see that there is a particular session accelerating innovation and R&D in Indian petrochemical, session 3. Then polymers in agriculture, polymers in water conservation. For example, for natural ponds and all, that's for conservation. How much polymers we are using, and probably we have to create advocacy for that, and medical and pharmaceutical applications. So finally, my point here is just, of course, adding to all the points which they have mentioned. My point here is just concentrating on R&D by making R&D in the petrochemical industry, and also creating the right kind of human resources in quality and quantity for the petrochemical industry. That is very important. And then diversity in petrochemical industry, chemical industry, that is also a very important factor. For example, now big chemical companies, of course there is, you say that there is minimum female presence here also. For example, many big companies have come out with policies and programs for enhancing the diversity in chemical industry. Maybe our university recently has got a very big program from an industry to just give training for final year chemistry and chemical technology, chemical engineering students, girls. 9 months training, and they will be absorbed in that company after they get the degree. So to enhance the diversity, women presence in the chemical industry. Several industries are coming up. Of course, you may be knowing all these things. I don't want to mention names of here, but several industries all over the world, France, in Germany, all these countries are doing in a significant way. And we are training around, we have identified 100 final year BSc chemistry students, and then final year BSc chemistry girl students. And then with the help of a company, they are providing the full support, and they will be absorbed in the chemical industry. So this is also very important when it comes to human resource development. Finally, so these are the points which I wanted to emphasize, coming from the academic institutions and from my experience as a teacher and researcher, and who also worked in, who collaborated with industries in Germany and the US in the area of polymers. So the Indian petrochemical industry has significant responsibility in enabling nearly 10 out of the 17 or 18, I do not know, UN Sustainable Development Goals 2030. The industry will also need to play a vital role in aiding the implementation of circular economy through effective designs, reuse and recycle of materials, as well as innovation and technology. This will require embracing Industry 4.0 to enhance our existing technology strength while maintaining global safety standards. Let me thank Mr. Praveen Prashant for including the Somaiya Vidyavihar University, which is an industry-oriented, research-intensive university in all the major deliberations within industry. This is our collaboration with him for the third time, and we look forward to such collaboration. And in this connection, I would like to invite you all for a trio conclave which we are hosting with the help of International Indian Foundation, Bharat Tech Foundation, which is a conglomeration of Indian engineers and Indian technologists based in Nagpur now, this Bharat Tech Foundation, along with Bharat Tech Foundation, AICT, and Somaiya Vidyavihar University. We are hosting a conclave of industrialists, research R&D institutions in the country, and also the academic institutions to sort out. This will be a regular activity which we are hosting. I will be definitely sending invitation to you all to participate. Thank you very much. Of course, as a teacher, researcher, and who is engaged in human resource development, I thought I would concentrate on these particular points. Thank you very much.